Chris and Whitney, Whitney and Chris, cooking show.
Okay, and welcome back to Chris and Whitney
Whitney and Chris.
Cooking Show. And this morning, we're just going to title this cooking show, What's Cooking?
Breakfast, that's what's cooking.
It's just because that one of our audio video people said, what's cooking? And it just dawned on me, that would be awesome.
Yep.
So, what's cooking? Well, this morning, what's cooking, Whitney?
Okay, so first, we are cooking breakfast. First thing, we do have eggs that we are going to whisk up a little bit. We have some frozen hash brown patties that Chris got at Walmart. And then we just have great value canned biscuits. You can get any kind that you want. He got a little orange juice to go with that. And then do you want to show them your sausage?
And we got some pre-patted out sausage. What we try to do, if you remember, is this is for kids that cook at home. This is for kids that may not have parents at home to cook or they're at work, and we're trying to make this as simple as possible in 10 minutes. So, again, we try not to spend more than about 20 bucks. Who knew eggs were going to be about 20 bucks already?
Right.
But that's okay.
We're cooking all 12 of them.
So we still got under 20 bucks for a dozen eggs and some kind of prefab stuff going on.
And a lot of food, really. I mean,
A lot of food. This will feed a family of probably 6 or 7.
Okay, so first thing, I've already cracked several eggs in this bowl. I'm going to crack the last 2 so you can see if you just hit it on the side of your glass bowl or a melamine plastic bowl, that'll work. And then you want to make sure that you don't get any shells in your eggs. You don't want any
Oh, wait a minute. Guess what I saw on TikTok?
extra crunch. Okay, show us. Oh my gosh.
I saw that on TikTok.
And look how many, look, Chris, what the crap?
It was different. Anyway,
This
it looked cool on TikTok.
Chris.
So if this ever got... I got it on my
Okay,
hands, too.
so yeah, don't try that. Crack it on the side of the bowl.
Or someone else's head.
No.
I was
So
gonna do it on your
I
head,
do
but-
want to tell you also, like I'm just using a fork. Some people whisk those together, but a fork works just as well and is a lot easier to clean. So you're just going to mix those up until you break all of those yolks.
And this is for scrambled eggs. So, I mean, you can do fried eggs. We're not going to teach that today. Today's simple. Just scramble them up in a bowl.
Also, I typically like to put a little bit of milk in mine. That gives you a fluffier egg, but if you don't have milk, that's perfectly fine. Which one did you prepare for eggs?
And that one. And
Okay.
while she's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and start frying the sausage. Just because it's going to take a minute or two. But just put the sausage in. Let it brown real good on both sides. The key about cooking sausage, any kind of pork product, is you want to make sure it's done. Isn't that correct? I mean, I don't
Yes.
think it has to be 100% done.
You want to get it up to a specific temperature.
It needs to be pretty
Okay, so I poured these eggs in here, and if you'll notice, like my pan was already warm, so it's going to start to cook around the edge. You want to take a rubber spatula and ever so often take and grab those eggs away from the side so that they don't burn. I don't think that Chris oiled this pan very well, so they're already sticking. Also, you want to use a rubber spatula. You don't
I
want.
forgot to oil it.
Okay, good to
Oil
know.
the pan, don't do like I did, but keep the temperature kind of low so they don't stick, but I forgot to oil the pan.
I've literally already said all of that.
See, I was doing that and not listening.
Right. So again, you want to use a rubber spatula because you don't want to scratch your pan. You don't want your mom and dad to come home and to have ruined one of their pans. So make sure you're using a rubber spatula, not a utensil, not a fork or a spoon, but you need to use something that's not going to scratch your metal pan.
Now I add, excuse me, I added some pepper to the sausage. We'll add some salt and pepper definitely to the eggs.
Are you okay with me doing that now?
Oh yeah, whenever. And at any point, add your salt, pepper, and I guess if you forget the oil, just continue to monitor.
You need to constantly
Your
to
eggs.
stir it around and pull it away from the edges and the bottom if you do not oil or spray your pan with cooking spray.
What you want to do is get a good crust, and I'll show that to the camera in a minute. I'm going to flip all the sausage, but like last week when we did the hamburgers, the key is a good crust on each side. And that takes a good hot pan, really. So you may have to get the pan good and hot. Not every one of them does perfectly, apparently. And like I was saying here, look at the crust on that sausage. Oh my goodness. Let's get it back on some heat.
Also, Chris got some sliced sharp cheddar that you can either put on your hash browns that we put in the oven, or if you like cheese in your eggs, you can tear it up and stir that in with your eggs. I have seen people do that before. Or shredded cheese. If you have shredded cheese, that'll work in your eggs as well.
Okay, we will be back in about 2 minutes with a good crust on the sausage and the eggs. Back, we have finished up frying our sausage, and best thing to do at home is take it out, let some plates with napkins on it, something like that, absorb some of the grease. Now, don't get me wrong, the flavor is in some grease there, but we don't want it to overwhelm the dish. So, and you can tell, obviously, that the crust is on the sausage. That's what you want. That's what we got. And the reason we got that, Whitney, is because I want to remind everyone, you're dealing with a professional here. So if yours don't come out exactly like mine, it's cool.
Says the person who got the only shell in the eggs that we had.
I was only demonstrating something I saw on TikTok.
Okay.
That's beside the point. The true point is, I'm a pro.
Then we also,
Anyway,
aside from...
Just like how I said that Tom Selleck, well, like, yeah, I'm a pro.
Okay, we have these eggs that are finished scrambling, nice and fluffy, okay? One thing that you want to make sure that you get these done, that you don't have any runny in your scrambled eggs. Again, I said that I like to add a little milk because it makes them a little fluffier, but we didn't have any milk. One thing you want to do is take it off of the heat once you are done scrambling them. You don't want to leave it on the eye. I know if you have a gas stove, that's instant heat on or off. However, if you have an electric stove, it takes a while for that to cool down. So you don't want to burn them by leaving it on the eye. So just pull it away from the heat. That way it's not continuing to cook.
And now, guys, girls, studio audience, everyone watching at home,
I was going to move this if you're going to sit
The
it
biscuits
on.
are almost ready. Now, don't ever get anything out of the oven without an oven mitt. So Miss Whitney's going to get me an oven mitt. Ah, we have an oven mitt. I knew we had one somewhere. Now, you may think, is that right or left-handed? Guess what? It doesn't matter.
I don't think it matters.
Hey, you never know who might be. All right, we're going to get out. Oh, these look great. Now, you know when your biscuits are done when they have that golden brown look to them. So we're going to lay those out, and we got an extra surprise for them today, Whitney.
What's that?
We have
We told them that we were cooking those.
hash brown.
I told them, I showed them the box and said they were already
In
in the
case
oven.
you forgot, we have hash browns. What a great addition.
Nice, nice. I do want to say, guys, that we put these biscuits on the cookie sheet that I showed you at the beginning. These biscuits, we took them out of the package, sprayed the pan, and then put them in the oven first because they're going to take the longest to cook. So if you're trying to make sure that everything is warm when you eat it, then you'll want to put those in there first. Also, same thing with the hash browns. You want to put those in there with your biscuits so that everything comes out at the same time.
Okay. If you wouldn't mind, Miss Whitney, hand me a piece of cheese. I just want to throw this idea out there. I like cheese. I don't know about you, everyone watching, but I like cheese. So what you could always do is just lay you a piece of cheese right on top of a hash brown and just let that sit and melt for a minute. All right, our favorite part is we're going to assemble, and then I'm going to ask our Franklin County Productions audio, video students that do
Yes.
such an amazing job for us.
We couldn't do it if they didn't come in on video.
We couldn't do it, and we got to always thank Mr. Bean for letting
letting
some
them.
students come down. So we're
Teaching them, then letting them.
teaching them, then allowing the correct. So we want to open the biscuits up. Look at that. Look at that. That's when you know a professional's been cooking. Your
Canned
biscuits should come-
biscuits.
Canned biscuits. So we're going to open a biscuit up. I like to just put a nice piece of sausage on there. Now, I like mustard on mine. It doesn't matter what you put on it, but we're just going to put some sausage on there. Cover that up.
Jelly, if you have jelly.
Oh, jelly's real good. All right, we're going to take a hash brown. Look how great that cheese just slowly melted on that hash. Ooh, my goodness. We're going to lay that on the plate. We're going to take us a little scoop
Now, don't use your metal
of eggs.
spatula in your pan, again, as Chris just did. He's a professional, though, so it's not going to scratch, even if he uses metal.
Yeah. All right. So, I usually do the taste test, Miss Whitney, but today we're going to bring our kids back here and we're going to pick one to try the sausage and biscuit. We're going to pick one to try the eggs. We're going to pick one to try the hash brown with cheese. So, without further ado, let's invite them around the corner here. And before we get rolling, I'm going to get them to introduce themselves real quickly. Here's our production crew today. Number one, we have...
Hi, I'm Laura Medina.
I'm Lucas Stevens.
Jasper Henley.
And I'm Spencer Garner.
All right, we're going to get you first to try whichever part of this breakfast you want to try.
I'm going to go for the hash brown with cheese first because this is an interesting decision.
Boom. Perfect. Okay.
Yeah, not for me.
Not for you, the cheese is not
We're going to pull you up next. What do you want to try?
I feel like this is a pretty easy decision here.
So far, we've got 100.
That's good stuff.
Perfect. All right. That leaves you with eggs.
Leaves me with eggs.
All right, perfect. And we're going to invite you on over now. We're going to give you a new fork. You can eat off the other side of the biscuit,
Yeah,
Nice. Yeah.
or you can try one of those.
We'll try the hash brown. Just
Try the
because I love
hash
browns.
brown. Okay, he's going to try the hash browns with cheese.
Cut it up nice here.
Perfect.
Perfecto.
All right. Thanks again for joining us for another episode of Chris and Whitney
Whitney and Chris.
in the kitchen. Let's cook. Have a great day.